Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. This one is huge, guys. It is huge. There is a winter storm. They've even named it Winter Storm Blair. They're naming a winter storm. You know it's going to be a big one. The funny thing is that the local media is, I guess, playing this day to day. They're not talking about the size of this storm that is coming right to Cincinnati and beyond. If you are in the Beltway, it looks like maybe I-74 heading from Illinois. It's looking like it's tracking from Illinois to Indiana to Cincinnati, Ohio, and beyond. I've been watching the Weather Channel lately. They are expecting 12 to 18 inches of snow. Now, whether that goes a little north of if that goes a little north of us, then we're going to get a lot of ice. I'm almost rooting for the snow because the ice stuff is no joke. That is something that can cause a lot of power outages with lines, power lines coming down and stuff like that. We've been through this before. It's been a few years since we've had a storm like this. Winter Storm Blair looks like it's going to wreak havoc one way or another. Make sure you are prepared for this storm. If you live in the line of it, check out the Weather Channel. If you don't have the Weather Channel on your TV network, make sure you check it out online. There's been a lot of different weather guys out there online talking about this as well. Me and Jessica are preparing for the worst. It's looking like we're going to start seeing snow Saturday, but the big storm looks like it's going to come Sunday afternoon into most of the day Monday. And the fact that they're expecting 12 to 18 inches within the period of 24 hours has got me thinking, or what did I say? 12 to 18 inches. So today is Thursday. Okay, Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Happy New Year. And with New Year comes new storm, I guess. We haven't had a storm like this in a long time, guys. We are leaving no stone unturned. We're going to make sure that we have everything ready in case we do lose power. We're going to have all our little things out, our little pop-up lanterns, all our little flashlights. We are well prepared for food. And that is the one thing I want to make sure and get the word out there. Because me and Jessica were talking about this before. I think it's a little strange that here we are with possibly the biggest winter storm in years here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they're really, I wouldn't say they're dumbing it down, but they're not treating this like they normally do, like an inch or two of snow. And I guess, Jessica said, well, maybe they don't want to freak people out and everybody rushed to the store. Well, you want to be prepared in case you can't leave your home for a couple days. That is particularly why I focus on this video here. Now, I know, we have some other things we need to talk about. I'm going to have to save for a later video because I wanted to talk about this as this is coming. First, I do want to send out our thoughts and prayers for everyone involved in New Orleans. That is a very sad, sickening event. I was going to put out something last night on that. I was like, I don't like putting anything out here until rigorous research has been done. And at that, I just want to put out my condolences, my thoughts and prayers to everyone involved. That is a horrific event. I pray for the families who have lost loved ones. It's just absolutely terrible. But I wanted to mention that in today's video because, yeah, I was glued to the television yesterday watching any updates or anything like that. And then they had the event in Las Vegas with the Cybertruck, going up in flames right outside of the Trump Hotel, so I don't know. I've been hearing on the news they're trying to see if there's a connection to that. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate or talk about it anymore. Just want to mention that our thoughts and prayers are with all the families involved in New Orleans. Apparently, from what we've heard on the news, the only one who lost their life was the person in the Cybertruck that was driving this. So, I don't know what to say about it other than our thoughts and prayers are with the families who lost their loved ones. But back to the storm. Yeah, this is big, guys. This is huge. This is huge. Jessica was the one who actually said, like, she couldn't even remember the last time she heard a winter storm named, which I'm sure they name them all. We just, if it's not heading toward us, I guess you don't, maybe we don't pay attention as much. We're used to getting snow, just not 12 to 18 inches. That is a lot for us. If you live in New York, or if you live, upstate New York like Buffalo, or if you live in Cleveland, or anywhere by Lake Michigan, get that lake effect snow. I'm sure you guys are used to this. I mean, it probably snows every day up there. Um, it actually looks like it's going to hit us worse than pretty much anywhere else. And there is the part of the reason why I think the local media is not covering it very well is any drift in the current that is coming our direction could mean a lot more ice or a lot more snow. Now, watching the Weather Channel, the weather pattern is, if it continues, it's looking like we're going to get a heavy winter blast of snow. But we are well prepared for this. I am going to be traveling to Kroger after I finish this video. We're going to check out some of the new sales. That video should be out tomorrow morning. And some things to stock up on for this winter event. We're going to make sure we have everything for our warm comfort foods in case we get snowed in. I will be doing videos from home, maybe out walking around in the snow. Who knows? I mean, we are a bit excited to see a snowstorm. Well, Jessica is a bit excited to see a snowstorm. I am, I'm good either way. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I might go out in it, but I'm not going to go driving. I may go walking around the neighborhood or something, maybe do a walk and talk here and there. But yeah, it's like when it's not that I don't mind driving in it. I mind everybody else. It's like everybody else who's trying to drive or race to work and stuff like that. Nah, I stay away from that, especially when it's especially if it's icy. Now I will say Cincinnati does a pretty good job of clearing the roads, so we should be okay there. But if we get that ice, I remember ice storms in the past, really bad ones, where we have lost power, and it could last up to a couple days, and that's, that could be, you could be without heat, So, we prepare for a lot of these different things. We got little hand warmers and feet warmers and stuff like that. We got plenty of clothes, plenty of hoodies and stuff like that. We have all that stuff set up, which we already did because we've already kind of gone through an Arctic blast of temperatures. I mean, just a few weeks ago, we were having temperatures near the single digits at night and teens during the day. So, and it is going to get cold. It is going to get really cold. I saw by next Wednesday, the low is 6 degrees, and I think the high was 19. So those cold temperatures are coming back, which we are well prepared for. Nothing a two pair of socks can't fix. Also, if you're going to be out with your kids and you're going to be doing some sledding, which I am excited for the kids if they're able to do some sledding. There hasn't really been any good sledding here over the last couple years because we just haven't had much snow. There was some last year where I know my friend took his son out and went sledding, and couple of my nieces and nephews. But one thing to remember, and I remember this when I was younger, if you save your Kroger bags and Meijer bags or Walmart bags, whichever plastic bags you save, put a couple of those on your feet after you got your socks. Tie those around your feet. This is what I used to do. Tie them around your feet or whatever, and then put your shoes on. That way you're not getting all that snow and stuff. It'll still get a little wet, but it won't be like waterlogged, you know what I'm saying? And if you're in those colder temperatures, you don't want your feet to freeze. It's always good to have like that plastic around them, around your feet, so help keep the snow out of it. Make sure you've got gloves and a hat and all that stuff if you're going to be out in the cold. And we are going to be getting some things to make some home meals. So if I get trapped inside and not really wanting to go out, might do some slow cooked meals. I know some of you have been wanting to see some different videos on cooking and stuff like that. If we get time to do them, I love making meals and stuff. But if for some reason I get, where I don't want to go out or something, I'm going to be cooking a meal all day. Or maybe if it's just in the nighttime or whatever, I like to slow cook my meals. I like to slow cook them, like basically from the crack of dawn till night. I slow cook things a lot, so might do some of those, might do some different soups, and different things like that. I know we are going to be doing a roast here at some point. We got a lot, we're covered. Like, I don't have to go to the store. We got stuff, but, some of those little things to pick up at Kroger, just those little odds and ends and stuff like that. It'd be a good time today. You guys will be seeing this video today. I am doing this video today as I was having fun with the family yesterday. Me and Jessica did Christmas with her family. That was fun. They were, as most of you know, they've been in Florida, right? And they came back up here a couple days ago, did Christmas with them, had a good time. Wasn't able to do a video, so wanted to talk about this winter storm though, because a lot of our viewers are from around this area and beyond. But it's looking like and it's far out from Illinois, maybe a little further west, and then literally just barreling through Indiana, Ohio, and then onward to the East Coast. And it's something we need to pay attention to, especially that ice stuff. Now, if we get snow, if we get a ton of snow, then that means northern Kentucky, maybe even central Kentucky, is going to get a lot of ice. So if you live in central Kentucky, you want to pay attention to what is going on now, because, like I said, the ice can prove to be devastating in some areas, right? Especially if the if the power lines freeze, and you run out of power. You want to make sure that at least you have stuff to keep warm, in case you can't get your heat working or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're thinking ahead of that, as we all are trying to prepare for these kind of events. And it's like, this is why we always talk about when we go to the stores and stuff, buy up these sales when you see them, so you're not overspending, for one, but also so that you have these items for these kind of events, to make sure that you're, well prepared. We've got plenty of soups. As you guys know, we got plenty of soup stocked up. We got pretty much everything stocked up. We're ready. And, think of other things too. If you have to get out, if you are if you're a hospital employee, if you're a safety worker, if you're a police officer, a fireman, or, and I know I don't really have to talk preparedness with a fireman or police officer. You guys probably all know, but it's, in case you forget, there might be the little things, make sure you have that little first aid kit, which, if you drive an ambulance, you got probably the best first aid kit. But, if you're not, just something to think about. It's like, if you have your little pack, most of you have been on the channel for a while, know I keep my little backpack thing in the car, keep an extra blanket in your car. And like I said, if you have, and now if it's terrible out and if you can take off work, sure. But there are some people who can't take off work, and I am talking to you. Good to make sure that you keep, an extra pair of gloves in the car in case you run out the door. So, it's good to think of this stuff ahead of time. Keep in your car all the time. Have an extra pair of things that you can keep in the car. That way, if you're like me and you run out the door and you forget something, well, at least you have your emergency item in the car and ready to go. So that's one thing. And, anything else that you can think of that, hey, there's a possibility of, knock on wood, it doesn't for you, but there's a possibility, worst case scenarios, right? You want to make sure that you have things for worst case scenarios, no matter what that is, and I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. And, one big thing I will say too, and one thing is what my dad always told me, always keep your gas tank full. Always keep your gas tank full when there is a snowstorm or any kind of slick roads, because that adds weight to your car. That keeps the weight in your car. Or you can add difference. Like if you buy salt, keep the salt in your car. If you buy, like salt for the snow and stuff, big bags of salt, keep that in the back of your car, distribute it evenly. Right? If you have like two bags, put one bag on the far right side of your trunk and then the left bag or the other bag on the far left side of your trunk. So you're balancing out the weight on both wheels, right? And kind of maybe if you have a lot of stuff in your trunk and stuff like that, move things to the right and left sides so that you're balancing out the weight, adding more weight to some of your, some of your car. Now, one thing use at your own discretion here. One thing I will say that I have done in the past when I have had to go to work, when I've had other jobs and I had no choice. This is just me personally, okay? And I'm not saying go out and do this, but this is something that worked for me, and I am in no way, shape, or form telling you to do this. This is just what I did, okay? I would let a little air out of my tires. Not much, just a couple pounds. And not necessarily, you can do your front tires. I always did my back tires. I would take it down to about 29 pounds of pressure. Most tires are supposed to have 32 pounds of pressure. Most vehicles between a 16, 17-inch rim should have about 32 pounds of pressure. Now, if you take a few pounds of pressure, if you use a tire gauge, take a few pounds of pressure out of the back tires, well, that's adding even more weight, and it's actually adding a little more grip, right? Because you're lessening the inside part of the tire that, it'll look a little low when you look at it. But that's, it, like I said, if you have to go out and drive and it's terrible conditions, that might be something to think about. Also you're going to, it's just what I've always done. It's what I've always been told. I've done it when I've had to go out. But then once the snow and everything goes away, I would fill it right back up to 32 pounds. But something to think about. I know some people probably take the pressure out of all four of their tires. I've never done that. I've always done the back tires. I've always been fine doing that. But just, just sending the message out there to be safe, guys. This does not look, this looks like it's going to be a big one. I mean, it's definitely going to be big for us. And like I said, if we get the blast of this snow, then Kentucky, who is south of us, and some other southern areas, southern Indiana, and maybe as far south as Tennessee. I'm not really. It all kind of depends on which way like I said, the winds go and everything. And that could, like I said before, that could be why the local weather. I just don't understand why they're not making this. They seem like, and I've checked all the different local channels. They're all doing the same thing. It's like when there's an inch of snow coming, you guys are screaming at us, and now there's possibility of 12 to 18 inches. And I think it's a case of, well, you just don't want to be wrong. I get it. But you still got to let people know that and they do sort of let you know the possibilities there, but they're not giving any numbers. The only numbers that we've gotten is from the Weather Channel and a couple other like different YouTubers who are meteorologists that do this for a living, so I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'll continue to update on things that we're doing throughout the day, different preparations that we do, as I come across them. I know there was a major recall on broccoli from Walmart. I haven't researched it at all. One of you guys messaged me about it. There's been a huge recall on broccoli. I haven't even checked it out yet, but I wanted to mention that in this video so that you can check that out. I just saw it, so I may do an update video on that. We'll see what happens. Got a lot we got to do here over the next couple days, though. And there's some other things me and Jessica got to do to get done here before this storm hits, because I do believe this is going to be a big one, whether it's just ice or whether it's going to be 12 to 18 inches of snow. It's looking more and more like the snow is going to be the big one. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not as bad as what it looks like. But at the same time, we're going to prepare as best as we can, whatever the case. So be safe out there. Happy New Year. Happy January 2nd, 2025. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier saying 2025. I remember last year, I don't know, I keep saying 2025, and it's like, last year I was having all kinds of trouble. I kept saying 2023, just having trouble saying 2024. I feel like 2025 kind of rolls off the tongue a little easier. Either that or I've just said it so much that I'm just got it down. Once you start signing dates and stuff, though, will be the true test. Anyway, guys, I will keep everybody updated on what we're doing, and how we're preparing for the storm, and I'll keep everybody updated, because that's why I feel like I need to do this, because I feel like local channels around here in Cincinnati, they're not being 100% on this. They're not, or at least they're not giving as much information as they should. Again, like I said, Jessica may have a point here. They don't want to freak everybody out to where everybody goes to the store today. But again, don't you want that to happen, to be ready? I understand that Kroger's will probably be a madhouse even when I show up today, because people know this is coming, right? They're probably already talking about schools and stuff like that, because schools are supposed to start back Monday. Schools around here start back Monday. So I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I don't have the answers to that, but if you are watching this, just make sure, if you live in the area that this storm is coming, I'd prepare a little bit. Just get ready, and hopefully a lot of you, it's a snowstorm. That's really how I look at it. But, at the same time, this is what we prepare for. This is why we do the things we do, so that when these things happen, at least we can be a little bit ready. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.